Hey YT family, this is Linda Word, just showing you what my Christmas breakfast is. We do the pineapples with strawberries and grapes, seedless of course. And that's our breakfast. We kind of use that when we open up all the presents. But of course, y'all, don't throw away that ham bone. Why? Because we can make a soup with it. So this is my split pea soup. And I've cut up some onions. I cut up one large onion. I cut up some garlic and I cut up celery. And I just do the cheat way and I just go ahead and buy the carrots already shredded. But right here I'm just cutting up the garlic so I can put it in the pot with a little butter. That's the garlic. And this is the celery. And don't forget guys, always wash it. So there I go, washing it and coming back. And I cut that up. And I also love to use the little leaves that's on the celery. That has so much flavor. So I definitely cut that up in there too. So originally I only had 2 and I thought, that's not going to be enough. So I go ahead and grab another one and cut it up too. So there's the celery, and that's the package carrots that are already shredded. So I put them in a bowl and I rinse them, and then I put that in the pot as well. And that was my daughter, of course. So I'm just going to kind of saute this for a couple of minutes. Those are the peas. I rinse those out. Put them in a bowl and I rinse them. One thing about peas, the split peas, you do not need to have them soak. But once you put water on them, they do kind of tend to stick to the bowl, which is okay. You just I use my hands. I use my hands to pull them out. But anyway. So there's all the ingredients, and I'm just kind of sauteing them. That's what I use, which is the bay leaf. I use granulated garlic, coarse black pepper, chopped onions, smoked paprika. I use the reduced sodium in the chicken broth. I use 2 cans, and then I use 1 thing of just regular chicken broth. So now that that has sauteed, of course, that's my ham bone, which still has some meat on it. So I always save that ham bone because we will definitely use it later. Those are the peas that I've rinsed. So I'm starting to just pour all of that in. So there goes the broth. There's the bay leaves up there, and I put in 1.5. There's the other little piece. Just kind of stir that all up. And I do put my seasoning in, but I don't put a lot because I definitely do not put salt in it because of the ham bone, because you don't want it too salty. So there's the garlic that I'm putting in. I like to cook my soups and then season them halfway through, so that way I'll know what's really needed and what I really don't need. And it's about the best way I can explain that. And that's the paprika and the ham bone. And there's little pieces from the ham as well. One thing, if you cook your ham with cloves, you want to inspect that ham really good to make sure you pull all the cloves out, because if you kind of put that in, it gives the split pea soup a different taste, and I don't like the cloves cooking in my soup. So, shaky camera. So I have all my ingredients in, and now I'm going to put the peas in. Just kind of, it's better, you can use a spoon. I use my hands to get it out because it does kind of stick once you get it wet. So I put all my ingredients in and let it cook for about 2 hours, hour and a half. I take the bone out, and then I take the meat off the bone, shred it up, throw it back in the pot, and let it cook some more. Sorry, I thought I had all of that focused real good. Obviously not. There we go. So there it is, and I'm just kind of putting it. I do go back in and add more water because you do want to have that bone completely covered. So I do add more water to it to cover everything. And that smells so good. So there it goes, and I let it cook. So here I take the bone out, all the chunks of meat, because by now it has already fallen off the bone. So I take my strainer and I just kind of chop it up some just to get it a little pureed. I don't like to put it in a blender because I still like some texture to it. I don't want it just creamy. So there I'm separating it, and that is still hot, so I'm setting it aside and just trying to get the meat off as I can see it. Definitely do not want the fat though. At this point though, all that meat has cooked off the bones, and pieces of it has left in the pot. So there's like some of it chunky. But there I'll just kind of cut up the rest of the meat just so you'll have some tastes of the ham with the soup, but you still have your chunks. And that's how she's looking. So you can kind of start tasting it now, but this is the end result. And I like a little sour cream with mine and a little chives. There she goes. Good.